Hello, you're listening to Nick RP Green. No internet pseudonyms here. What you see is what you get. Recording on the 25th of January 2013. And today, you're listening to my thoughts whilst I'm doing the washing up.
Now understand this, Jasper. If you breaks one more thing, you is going out. O-W-T out.
So hopefully you can hear me over the sound of the tap filling the washing up bowl with water, as you can see on your monitor right now. So I suppose I should probably explain what the hell's going on. If you remember my last video that I did, my January update, otherwise entitled "Whoa, oh my god, video update, where the hell has this come from?" You'll remember that I said I wanted to be a bit of a better house husband to my girlfriend, because I was a bit slacky last time. This water's going to be far too cold now. Oh well, that'll be right. And so I've needed to do some more washing up, and I also wanted to make a new video because I haven't done one. And I thought, yeah, why not combine the two and do something together? Okay, that's a little over full now, but otherwise it's going to be stone. It's still stone cold. I'm going to have to, as you can see, I'm not very good at doing the bloody washing up. Anyway, back to what this video is actually about. I thought, well, you know, I need to do some washing up. I want to do a new video. Why not combine the two? And you know, it will make me do the washing up more because I've got something to do whilst I'm doing it, and it will make me make more videos because every time I do washing up, I'll make a video. So basically, unlike most of my other videos, this one's completely unscripted, unthought of much apart from sort of musings about the week. So yeah, this is the start of the series where I talk about things that have happened, things in the news, things in video games, whilst I do the washing up. And I'm hoping my girlfriend likes this idea because it means I actually get to do some washing up. And it means that if you haven't seen a video from me in a while doing this, it means I haven't done any washing up. So you can all sort of get on my profile and say, Nick, you haven't done any washing up in ages, and we know because you haven't videoed it. So bloody get on with it. So yeah, pester me to do that because it will make my girlfriend happy. Okay, enough about that. Let's actually. So there's a fork. Okay, one fork done. On to the rest. There's at least two loads probably still to do. I've had to do quite a bit over the last week because we still haven't finished cleaning up after New Year, and Adele's parents are coming, so I better make do and get tied in. So what's happened this week? Well, I made that new video, which was all right. And then I went to my job seekers interview, like I said I would, and yeah, same old, seeing the same person, stuff like that, so that's alright. And then I've been playing some video games, so let's talk about video games, because that's what these discussions need to actually be about, video games. I've got the time it takes for me to do one load of washing up to talk about video games, so let's do both of those at the same time. Video games. What can I talk about video games? As I said, this is completely unscripted, unlike most of my videos. So, you know, I might sort of blank out for a minute or two or stuff like that. Just, you know, if I do, just watch me doing the washing up. It's rare to see a man do some washing up, particularly in our house, because no one ever bloody does it. But, there you go. THQ, yeah, that was sad, wasn't it? If you didn't know, THQ is now no more. The entire company the company went bankrupt. They did their THQ bundle, Humble Bundle, which I participated in. Would have given more money to the developers had I known what was going on at the time. Whether they'd said anything about it at the time or whether I just was ignorant and didn't notice, I don't know. But yeah, THQ went under, which was quite sad. The Darksiders series certainly seemed to be doing a lot. I had done a couple of audits for GameStation and Asda in Lancaster to do with their Darksiders merchandise. So, you know, I thought they were doing really well with that, particularly with that franchise. And obviously, they've had WWE and those games going for a while. So it's quite sad to see that company dissolve in the way that it did. I think all of the developers, yes it was, all of the developing teams behind THQ have been bought out except for the one that made Darksiders. So it's unlikely we'll see a Darksiders 3. I can't remember what the company was called, and as I'm doing the washing up, I have no way of finding out off my back. So yeah, that was a real shame. I've never been a huge fan of many of the THQ games. I mean, the ones that I bought in the bundle, all right. I played a bit of Dawn of War, the Warhammer 40k game, and didn't really like that. If I wanted to play a game like that, I'd play Red Alert. I started trying out Titan Quest. Man, that game has not aged well. No, it's basically a Diablo knockoff, sort of during ancient Greek times. So you got things like the gods and minotaurs, and the opening cinematic has Medusa in it, and yeah, unfortunately, after playing quite a bit of Torchlight 2 now, I've kind of been scarred for those kind of games. You know, I picked up Titan Quest, it's like, oh my god, I so wish I was just playing Torchlight 2 right now, because Torchlight 2 is so much better. Even Diablo 3 is better, and I haven't even played Diablo 3. I know that it's had its problems, but Milo seems to enjoy it quite a lot. He plays quite a lot of Diablo 3. But yeah, Torchlight 2 is great. I really enjoy it. I can't play it on my own though, because I've got 2 characters now. Both of them are set up to play with other people, and I really don't want to have to start a 3rd character or deviate off like I've done with Borderlands 2. I got bored of waiting for my friends with Borderlands 2, so I actually went upon myself to carry it on my own. So though Milo's now catching up to where I am, so that I can play through the rest of it with him. So yeah, don't spoil Borderlands 2 for me, because I still haven't bloody finished it. At some point I'll bloody finish it. I've just done the mission for Mordecai, the first mission for Mordecai. So if anyone knows if anyone's played Borderlands 2, you know where I mean. And God, that hit me. I played as Mordecai in Borderlands 1, and I was really upset about what happened. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but yeah, I didn't like that. That was so mad. That was so nasty. I just knew he was going to say the 4th element as well. But yeah. So THQ, yeah, they've gone. The other games, what else was in that bundle? I haven't played. I don't think I've installed any of the others yet. There's Red Faction Armageddon. Was it Red Faction Guerrilla? It was one of the others. I think it was Armageddon, which I just haven't installed. And I can't actually remember any of the other games off the top of my head, so I wouldn't worry about it. But the WWE series got snatched up by someone, I can't remember who, but so we'll see more of them, unfortunately. I don't care about wrestling at all. It's all fake, and everyone knows that it's fake, but you know, people still think it's the most amazing sport in the world when it isn't. It's crap. You know, go and watch rugby. You know, if you want to watch wrestling, but you want to watch real wrestling, watch rugby. Jesus Christ, those guys put themselves through. Actually, talking to sport, I saw that thing about Hazard, the Chelsea footballer who kicked the ball boy. That was a bit odd, wasn't it? I mean, I don't know. It's a bit. You can't really see from the video very well what actually happened. You know, he kind of kicks the ball, but also kicks the ball boy. And it's like, yeah, he shouldn't have done it, but the ball boy was being a prick by not giving him the ball in the first place. I think they were both in the wrong. He handled it in the wrong way. And yeah, and the crowd that's come out from Twitter, I don't give a crap, to be honest. I'm bored of listening to people on Twitter say what they think. But it's kind of ironic that I'm now doing a video where I talk about what I think. But you know, the general public tends to be stupid anyway. Sorry if that offends you, but it's just the way I feel sometimes when I read things on the internet. You might be thinking the same thing about me as I do a video whilst I do the washing up. What a stupid prick that guy is. Why does he think anyone will be interested in what he's got to say whilst doing the bloody washing up? Well, some people might. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back to video games. What else happened? Riot Games. If you don't know who Riot Games are, then shame on you. You should know who Riot Games are. Riot Games are the makers of League of Legends, of course. The RTS that I really, really, really enjoy. So then there's Thresh. Thresh has just been released. He's designed as a support champion. He's got some very interesting mechanics. I could talk about him, but you know, it'd just be easier for you to watch the champion spotlight. There's a link on your screen right now. But he's quite good. very interesting. I had to tinker about with him in PB. I've actually been playing him as a bruiser and a jungler because I want to make use of his Q, the passive on his Q, which gives him better auto attacks. So yeah, I've been having quite a bit of fun. One of my mates has bought him. He's been playing as a support. Though we did see a jungle thresh in a game the other day. He seemed to do okay. He didn't do as well as my mate did. Then my mate's also bought the skin, which is the deep sea thresh, which is quite amusing. It kind of gives him a bit of a Davy Jones type look, from Pirates of the Caribbean. But what it also does is when he recalls, he produces a treasure chest, and that looks really cool. It also gave my mate the excuse to we managed to get first blood by invading their jungle, and he managed to get an amazing shot off with his Q. One of the enemies flashed out of the way, and he threw his Q blind over a wall, grabbed them, pulled them back towards him, and we picked up the kill. And that was great. But it allowed him to say, well, want to secure first blood? Why not Zoidberg? I found that quite amusing. We all had a good chuckle at that. So yeah, but on the subject of League of Legends, they've recently given 2 lifetime bans out to... It's a European team. They sound a bit like Team Solo Mid, but it's Team Solo Mid-J or something like that. But they've given out 2 lifetime bans and 1 yearly ban to 3 of the team's members, basically due to their online behaviour. They've repeated abuse, verbal abuse, offensive language, someone tracking IP addresses of other players so that he knows where they are and can... I don't know, just... these are people who are playing on professional League of Legends teams. They're out there. The community has seen them. The people know who these people are because they are famous for playing League of Legends. And I know that sounds a bit, well, you're famous for playing a video game, but it's getting big. The Season 2 Championships, the Season 2 World Finals, it was massive. I watched a bit of it. I was a bit disappointed that Zubifrost didn't win, actually, because some of the Zubifrost games I saw were just amazing. Their top laner is... I can't remember, is it Zyrus or I can't remember exactly what his name was, but he played the most amazing Singed. It was really something to watch. But yeah, it's something really big, and people, look up to why do you think these people are famous? Is it because they just play? No, it's because they stream, they do stuff online. I follow CivHD, because he's hilarious for a start. I love a lot of his videos. I don't particularly watch his streaming. I just watch his guides because his guides are funny, but they do also make sense. But they're quite big members of the community. If you think League of Legends jungling, the first person you think of is Stonewall. I read Stonewall stuff on Reign of Gaming all the time because jungling is my main. It's what I do more than anything else. And so these are people that the community really looks up to, the community follow. They're sort of icons. And Riot have said, no, your behaviour is unacceptable. You're gone, and quite rightly so, because in any other situation, they'd be out of there. If a celebrity, if a movie star, punched someone in the face, there'd be havoc. Well, remember the whole Russell Brand, Jonathan Ross thing. There was uproar about that because it was there were 2 people that had quite a lot of influence in their area. They had a lot of influence on the radio, which is where the offence took place. I won't go into it all. You all know what it was all about. And there was they both got fired from the BBC. Jonathan Ross got another show on ITV now, and I still don't particularly rate him, and I won't watch it because I don't like Jonathan Ross. But kudos to Riot for what they've done. They've banned 2 of them for life. Their current accounts that they've got, plus any new ones that are created, will be instantly banned. So they are never allowed to play League of Legends again. Well, I assume that's what it means, because they said all future accounts they create will be banned as well. So that means if they start again with a new account at level 1, then they're going to get banned. So they obviously know what their IP addresses or whatever are. So, yeah. So they've had 2 lifetime bans, and another one who was really, really bad, who actually, his behaviour and the amount of reports he'd had warranted an instant ban. He's been banned for a year, so he's not allowed to take part in any of the Season 3 stuff that's going on. There is a tournament, it's the Championship Series qualifier in Warsaw in Poland. I think it's this weekend or next weekend. So that'll be interesting to have a look at. I might have a watch of it, but I'm normally quite busy at the weekends. I've got a PC LAN next weekend, I've got a console LAN this weekend, and Adele's parents coming this weekend, so I've got not much time for LoL, which is a shame because it's a double IP weekend this weekend. Yes, for all you LoL players, if you hadn't heard, Riot are giving away double IP this coming weekend for everyone. So yeah, if you play League of Legends, you should probably play it this weekend because you get double IP. You also get double bonus RP when you buy RP at the moment. You know how if you buy £4.50's worth, you get 800 plus 40, well, 800 plus 80, or whatever the numbers are. So yeah, that's alright. I don't buy RP very often. When I do, it's because I've seen something I want. Actually, Tarek's skin is on sale. The Armour of the Fifth Age Tarek, the pink one, is on sale, so I might actually buy that because everyone buys it because it's awesome. Because Bloodstone Tarek just isn't manly enough. You can't be more manly than a manly man in pink manly armour. Man time. God, everyone loves Tarek. Yeah, Tarek. Right, I've done quite a lot of forks. I should probably do some more cutlery, and then I've got some space for some pans, I think. Right, let's watch this thing. So, what else has been happening in video games this week, or what else has happened to me in video games this week? Let's have a quick think whilst I wash this next fork. Video games. I kind of did think a couple of things about what I wanted to talk about, and I've already talked about both of them. What else happened in the news? What else happened in the news for video games? Well, lots of things. Things are always happening. Oh, then Nintendo! Nintendo announced that they're remaking Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for the Wii U in HD. Yippee! I don't care, because I don't like Legend of Zelda. They also announced there's going to be a new Mario game, a new Mario Kart game, and a new Yoshi game. Yippee! Don't care, because I don't like Nintendo games. Sorry to say that, but I don't. The only one I really actually like a decent amount is Smash Bros. Brawl, because it's just awesome. I still haven't played PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. Jesus Christ, they came up with a long name for that, didn't they? Why couldn't they have just called it PlayStation Battle Royale? That would have made much more sense. No, we've got to call it PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale, which actually is a real annoyance, because I guessed that the next Smash Brothers game would be called Super Smash Brothers Battle Royale, and it can't be now because that would just be copying PlayStation. So yeah, I suppose on that idea. Yeah, there's a lot of butter on there, isn't it? I'll wash that off like that. It's not coming off. Okay, I'll just do this then. So yeah, but they've announced a lot more, and there's already an article up on GameSpot that someone's written talking about whether the franchises, Nintendo's franchises, are like holding them back and doing things, because they're just repeating things over and over again. It's the thing that I kind of struggle with Nintendo at the moment, particularly New Super Mario Brothers. New Super Mario Brothers is the worst for it, partly for the fact that it's called New Super Mario Brothers when it isn't. It's not new. They've been doing the same. They're just sort of redoing it a bit, you know. Rayman Legends was Rayman all over again, but spruced up and nice. But they didn't call it New Rayman because it wasn't. It's the old formula, just done with multiplayer and looks nice. And don't get me wrong, the Mario games are good quality, but I'm bored of them. You know, I've finished Mario 1. I also played New Super Mario Brothers for the DS. And finished that, and it was just like, yeah, I'm playing Super Mario Brothers 3 in HD. Isn't this great? Which for some people is. For me, it isn't, because Rayman Origins was better for a start. I was a bit disappointed by Rayman Legends on the Wii U when I got to play it, though I'm sure there's more to it than the demo I played at Play Expo in Manchester late last year. But yeah, I don't know about Nintendo. The one thing I have sort of thought is great is the announcement of the second Luigi's Mansion game, because it means they are doing something. Okay, I know it's not something new, it's Luigi's Mansion, which they've done before, but it's it's only Luigi's Mansion 2. How many Super Mario Brothers games has there been? 10? How many Mario Karts have there been? I think they're on their 8th now, making this one, because the one for the DS was called Super Mario Kart 7, wasn't it? Okay, come on. I know there's been a lot of Metal Gear Solids, but Metal Gear Solid has always taken things in a very new step. I know there's been a lot of Final Fantasies, but they've always massively improved. Final Fantasy 13 came out. I shouldn't judge Final Fantasy. I've never played a single Final Fantasy game in my life, so I shouldn't judge Final Fantasy. But Luigi's Mansion 2 is, it's a great new tie for it. We haven't seen the game since it was on the GameCube, so it'll be interesting to see what they can do with that idea now. And I think that's a good step for Nintendo. The Yoshi game, yeah, okay, maybe that's a good step, but other than that, another Mario Kart. I'm sick to bloody death of Mario Kart, quite frankly. I played. I finally installed and started playing Sega Superstars Racing, whatever it was called, that I got in the Winter Steam sale, and that's quite fun. It made a nice change from playing Mario Kart, to be honest. It's a bit more vibrant. I like the announcer, because the announcer talks about what's going on in the race. It's very, very colourful, and I prefer the Sonic franchise, as you could probably guess by my other videos, to Mario franchise anyway. I have to say I'm surprised they haven't done a crossover with those two in karting yet, because that I would have thought that'd be the next sensible stage to do. They've done the Olympics a couple of times now. I'm surprised they haven't thought, let's put Sonic and Mario in a kart racing game together. I don't know. Maybe they just want to keep it as an Olympic thing. I don't know. But it just seemed like that would be a natural progression. But apparently not. But yeah, apart from that, I mean, I've got no interest in getting a Wii U. The hardware is quite impressive, but the games don't impress me of what I've seen in the past. And that just doesn't bother me at all. To be honest, now that I've got a PC, I probably won't buy the next PlayStation or the next Xbox, so I don't play all the ones I've got at the moment enough. So I can't really warrant spending the money. Particularly, I've just bought a new RAM stick. As I found out, I was only running 3 gigabytes of RAM, which was explaining why sometimes my computer would chug a little bit. So I've got a new 4 gigabytes, so I'll have a bit more RAM to play with. Yeah. I have no idea what was in here or how long it's been in here, but it's not very nice. Oh well, the internet can share this with me. Yay! But yeah. So that was Nintendo. I've not got that. I think I might leave that to soak actually, because I don't know. I'll do a couple more plates. I think I've got time for one last topic then. And let's do the one that I've been talking about for a while. Metal Gear Rising Revengance. The demo for it came out last night. If you haven't played it, play it. You can get it on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. I was slightly disappointed with it, but that's only because it's the exact same demo that I got to play at the Play Expo in October in Manchester. Event City. If you also went to that, it was quite good. If you did go to that and you saw the Saturday's cosplay show, I was the Amumu that was there. Or if you just saw me wandering around as Amumu, that was me, by the way. So yeah, I know that costume was a bit poo, but it spent me and my girlfriend a long time making it. I was quite proud of it, and then it all started falling apart on the day, which I was not surprised about. But oh well. But it gave me another chance to have a decent go at it, because when we played it at Play, we had a time limit of 15 minutes, and if we finished it within the 15 minutes, then we got a special poster, which I've got up in my room, though it keeps falling down, which is annoying. It's a really nice sort of holographic style poster. I really like it. But yeah, so it was a good try, but it was a bit rushed, so I didn't really get a good chance to go. I didn't play the tutorial because I wanted to get through it quickly, because I didn't know whether they included the tutorial within the time limit. So this time I've had a bit more of a chance. I've only played through it once, but I had a bit more of a chance to go through it and learn a bit more about blade time and learn how to parry. Parrying is quite awkward in it because it requires you to push on the Xbox X, on the PlayStation 3 square, and the left analog stick in the direction of your opponent as they're trying to attack you. The opponents, as they try to attack you, they sort of flash orange with their weapon to show they're about to attack, and you then have that time to sort of parry. The problem is the X button on the Xbox and the square button, let's just call it the attack button, is the attack button. It's the button you use to do a light or wide attack. You use that to do a wide attack, Y or triangle to do a heavy attack, B and circle is a special move or like interact, stealth kill, that sort of stuff, and A or X is jump. So it's quite awkward having to fight and then you need to parry by using the same button you're trying to fight with. It just seemed a bit awkward, but once you get used to it, it's not too bad. The only real situations that you need it to fight big things. You can use it against fighting soldiers, but I found that I was able to sort of hack and slash them down quite quickly. You get to fight the boss, which is the thing that kind of looks like Crying Wolf with a chainsaw for a tail. She's quite mean, or he's quite mean rather. It's not a she. You get to fight that, and you have to know how to parry to beat that. So that's a really good sort of tutorial on how to parry. You know, learn to parry, or this thing will put a chainsaw through your chest. And bloody hell, does that hurt? But yeah, it's given me a decent chance to have a go with it, and I really like the idea about it. I just hope the rest of the game has, you know, got a lot more to it. You're a bit limited in your moveset and stuff like that. Though I don't know whether that was just because I wasn't very good at it. I'm not normally a fan of hack and slashes. I've never played like Devil May Cry or anything like that, but as it's a Metal Gear game, I really want to try it. And I just think Raiden looks cool. Raiden looks so cool in it. You know, he was a bit. Everyone was sort of disappointed with him in 2, and then 4 came out, and he was a badass then, and now you get to play him as a badass, and he just looks awesome, in my opinion. Really, really cool. I like that. I like that they've taken a character that people didn't like and turned him into something awesome. Although it was revealed recently, if you didn't hear, Hideo Kojima originally wanted it to be Grey Fox, Frank Yeager, as he appeared in Metal Gear Solid 1, to be in Revengance. To kind of have Revengance as his sort of story, which I suppose would have come between Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake and Metal Gear Solid, as that's where that story would have gone, really. So it could have come before Metal Gear 2 Solid Snake, as we were first introduced to him as Grey Fox in Metal Gear 2. Because in Metal Gear 2 he was a ninja in Metal Gear 2, but he wasn't a cyborg ninja. It was only after that, after Snake defeated him in Metal Gear 2, right at the start of Metal Gear 2 actually, that he supposedly died, but he was recovered and brought back to life. Now, what am I talking about? I'm thinking of the wrong person. No, I'm completely thinking of the wrong person. No, he was partly responsible for the whole thing. You fought Frank Yeager right at the end of Metal Gear 2. I can't remember who I was thinking of. I think I was thinking of Schneider, who was the leader of the Resistance in Metal Gear Solid 1, was a ninja who you fought at the start of Metal Gear 2, not Metal Gear Solid 1, Metal Gear 1. But yeah, you fight Frank Yeager in a minefield right at the end of the game, and he supposedly dies, but they pick him up and bring him back to life. And he becomes the cyborg ninja. And yeah, Kojima originally wanted the game to sort of follow on from that and show sort of Frank's story a bit, and sort of what happened there. But the rest of the development team said, "Now we want to do it with Raiden. Let's do it with Raiden." So originally it was going to be set between Metal Gear Solid 2 and Metal Gear Solid 4 to sort of show what happened to Raiden when he became the cyborg ninja, and that whole backstory there. Which I would have really looked forward to that, because that sounded like an interesting way of going forwards. But it was not to be. They chose to do it later on, and that's when they brought in Platinum Games. And to be honest, I think it was for the best there, because if Platinum Games had to do it the other way round, if they'd had to do it that way, then it wouldn't have given them as much creative license. They'd have been quite restricted, and for a game developer to come in on something like that and they say, right, you've got this set of parameters to do it in, you're a bit limited. Doing it after Metal Gear Solid 4 and bringing Raiden back as a cyborg again means they can do a brand new story, they can take it in whatever direction they want, Obviously, they're still sort of under some direction from the rest of Konami and Kojima's crew, but it gave them a bit more of a creative license. And so I think once I've tried to get rid of some of the drinks, I think this was hot chocolate. I believe this was someone's hot chocolate. Once I've finally got all the bits out of there, I think I'm actually done. So I'll give that a bit of a decent scrub. It's what's looking quite horrible now. And now I'll give it a scrub with the metal thing. That might get it out. Come on, you little bugger. Come on. Yeah. No, still a couple of little bits. So, as I'm finishing this up, I suppose I'll close the video. Thank you for watching, and if you've persevered through it, it's actually taken longer than I was expecting it to be honest. Hopefully my washing up times won't be quite as long, but yeah. So if sort of in a week or so, if you haven't seen another one of these videos, then you can bug me and say, Nick, do some bloody washing up, because I'm not keeping up to date with me washing up, and I'm not keeping up to date with my videos. I can get rid of that water now. Lovely jubbly, that's all gone. So that's a load of washing up done, another video done. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Yeah, my hands are all wrinkly now. Yeah.